welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Jake, Night Rider, or however you met me on Snapchat, Zeus, so I'm all sorts of names from what people know about me, but for those of you who are subbed, you know who I am, you've seen all my videos, and for any new people watching, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a series of my build on my 2003 Mustang GT, and if you saw the title, we have huge updates today that I want to share with everyone, and it's very exciting, and it's going to be a groundbreaking day in history for me personally, for all my car work, because this is going to be my first engine swap. So today I had an engine delivery by a really good friend of mine who just did a GT 500 swap in his 2008 Mustang GT, and he's had this engine sitting inside of his garage since like May. He's been convincing me, he's been telling me just buy it off of him, but I never really thought I could ever do an engine swap or even have something worth putting it in. But from my last video, you've seen all the Mustangs I've gone through since January of 2020 to now, and I've learned so much, and I've done so much to the point where I'm willing to push myself even further to learn the max. Like, the most important thing is, you know, I've learned all the body, the paint, interior work, taking stuff apart, and now it's gonna be the heart of this car. It's gonna be the heart of this project. So in a minute, I'm gonna turn the camera around and kind of give a show off and talk about some stuff about this 3-valve motor, and as well as explain how I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna tell you about all the research I learned and what I have to do to make sure that this can go into my new Edge Mustang. But for starters, I want to tell you guys why I chose a 3-valve over, you know, the classic, the war between the 4-valve, the fucking Coyote 5.0. Why didn't you just do that? It's a waste of money, all this stuff. I'm just gonna tell you right now that there's not a single person besides a friend that would ever give you an engine and a whole floor of aftermarket parts and give you a year to pay it off, basically, as well as allow you to do the swap, then pay off. It's such a really good price, considering that all these aftermarket parts at used prices will sell for more than I need to even do this swap. So it's actually a humongous steal. It's a win-win. Gary is my friend, and he's not hurting for money, so he's just a really kind person, and it's just given me a humongous opportunity. Him and like a couple guys today helped me load it up on his trailer and bring it here and stuff, and so just want to give a huge shout out to everyone who came today to do that, because it's not like I had any money or McChickens to offer anyone. So thank you guys very much for freaking delivering this, taking the time out of your day to help me out. So I really appreciate it, and I really hope that I could make you guys all proud by freaking putting this motor inside this car and doing the best I can. I have a good support group and a lot of resources that are backing me up and is going to help me try to get this engine swap done. And so I pray to God that I could do this, and I know that if I push myself, I can. But yeah, so there's the explanation also on basically why I chose the 3-valve, because there's no one else that would freaking, it's not like I could go up to someone with a, you know, a 4-valve motor and be like, hey, you mind if I pay you back in a year? I don't know you. But so I'm taking what I could get, and this is the best I could get, and I'm super excited. It's still 100 horsepower like gain. It's a cammed 3-valve motor, and I could still use my computer and my brake lines, and there's not much I have to change. It's all just Frankensteining and getting a tune. So without further ado, oh yeah, and the Mustang is over there, right back there on the front lawn. I do plan on waiting till the daytime to do a walk around of that with the new wheels on and everything. I promise I'll get into that, but all the aesthetic mods and my whole list that I plan to do and that I talked in a video prior, that's all being canceled and put to the side, because I would rather have a new engine with more horsepower and more opportunity than some simple tint and basic aesthetic mods. So we were here with like just basic doing stuff to make it look nice, and we just kind of took it above and beyond out of nowhere. This all happened within a week span. I just talked to him the other day, like 2-3 days ago, about doing it, and here we are with the engine sitting here. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and go through all the aftermarket parts that I have. There are, all these on the floor are gonna be for sale. I'll put a description, put it in the description with the price, and you guys can contact me on my Snapchat, which I'll leave in the description as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go through now and show you guys the motor and everything that I'm selling. All right, so for starters, these are all the parts that I have that he gave me. to sell and use towards the swap. From the gas tank to the we have a Shelby GT500 drive shaft, which is actually the same as the normal 05 to 09 drive shaft for the GT. We have a brake booster, a radiator. I have this H-pipe and another one with cats that I'm going to be selling locally to a guy who buys catalytic converters. We have the whole pedal assembly, the clutch, gas pedal, brake pedal. We have the fuse box and the 3-valve ECU for sale, the evap system, and the stock intake valve covers and throttle body. And then now we come into the things that are going to be purchased probably faster. The 62 millimeter twin throttle body, the BBK cold air intake to fit that, then the Hurst short throw shifter, which is really, really nice, and then the stock cams, which not a lot of people buy stock cams. And then over here, the transmission is for sale as well, because I could actually use my own transmission on this. It's a direct bolt-on, and this won't fit into my car because the length accommodates for the 05 to 09 chassis. So this is for sale too. I got a lot of people who are interested in the transmission already. If you are, just send me a message. And I'm also, I believe these are already sold, but I got the BBK shorty headers on here now, which I'm selling because I'm makeshifting my exhaust to work for this, so I don't have to change my exhaust. But without further ado, here's this bad boy. It's a cam 3-valve 08 GT motor. I'll put a clip in at the end of what his car sounded like when he had this in there. It sounded absolutely amazing. I remember my first time hearing it back in before May. It was probably in February. I freaking fanboyed over it. It sounded absolutely amazing. And overall, this is gonna be a beast inside of my Mustang, and I'm super excited to have everyone backing me up and helping me with it. But yeah, you got the powder coated valve covers and the Ford Racing intake. This right here, where the throttle body sits, I'm gonna have to put together. I have to get a 0304 Terminator Cobra throttle body and get that bolted on there, just so I could use the cable for my throttle. Beyond that, it's cam, so I also have to do cam lockouts on the phasers so that I could use my ECU, my stock 2-valve ECU, as well as being able to use my transmission, and drive shaft is a huge plus, and my motor mounts, as well as the wiring harness. I just have to extend some wires so they all plug in, and get some different mounting plates, and just basically Frankensteining this thing to work with the wire harness. But it's so much easier than having to reprogram the whole car with a whole new ECU, whole new wiring, and like that's a lot of work. So lockouts and some delete plates and a couple other things will allow me to use my ECU, so that's super exciting. And then I just have to get 3-valve flanges welded onto my 2-valve long tube headers so I can continue to use my exhaust. Those long tube headers are actually being sold soon, but I already have a guy who has the 3V flanges already welded onto the long tube, so I am going to be having those sold to me pretty soon after I get the long tubes on my 2-valve sold. But yeah, so I plan on doing a humongous series, whole series and episode of everything I'm doing to make this swap happen. Every little bolt on and things I take off, and modifications I have to do, I'm going to put it in there, because everywhere I search, there's only forums from like years ago, and forums and places on the groups of a 3-valve swap, because not a lot of people do them. So I'm going to go really in depth of every little thing I do, so I could keep it on YouTube, and it's my memories, and it's my first engine swap. So yeah, this is gonna be absolutely epic. I'm super excited, and I look forward to having my very first startup with my first engine swap. But yeah, it's absolutely freaking freezing outside. I hate you, Rochester, New York. I'm freezing, that's why I'm smoking the cig. It's the only thing keeping me warm right now. I have to get some space heaters in here while I'm working on all this stuff, because I'm gonna die. But anyways, so yeah, my transmission is direct bolt-on to this. So I do plan on, since everything's being taken apart anyways, I do plan on putting a whole new clutch in, because might as well when the transmission's off and being swapped on and all sorts of stuff. It's just so much easier. Probably use the flywheel that's in there, because this thing was taken care of. As long as it's a 6-bolt flywheel, I could use it. But yeah, I'm hoping to, if everything goes well, I'm hoping to get my car drivable by April 1st and tuned the same month, so that everything, because you gotta, the fuel and the ECU and everything just has to, flow properly. So a tune is always necessary in an engine swap. But as long as it starts up, we're in business. So there's not much else to say. This was just the reveal of the start of my engine swap. And I can't wait for everyone to see the progress and give me advice and help me throughout this process, because it's going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done. But I'm super excited. But yeah, and I also have all these parts for sale. So if you need anything, let me know. I'm willing to ship. And if you buy more than one thing, I'll do a bundle deal and take some money off. But thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll make sure to leave a clip of what it's possibly going to sound like when it's in my car. And when I get some free time during the daytime, I'll do a walk around of the Mustang. Let's go see if we could see what it looks like with all the Christmas lights. You can't see much because it's really dark outside. It's really dark outside, but I promise to get a full daytime view of what it looks like and how the paint job came out. But that's about it for this video. This is kind of the walkthrough from car to garage. The car is sitting pretty in the front lawn as a fucking ornament right now until I get this engine swap done. So wish me luck, guys. Any advice you guys have, please just let me know, because this is going to be intense. But yeah, next episode, it's probably going to be, next episode of this series is probably going to be the walk around of the car. And then after that, it's going to be I'm going to start from pulling the motor to doing all the work onto the engine and then putting it in the car. So thanks for viewing my video, and leave a like, subscribe, comment, and please give me some advice, because I'm going to need it.